Okay, so the problem in the warm-up was to factor and simplify the rational expression x squared minus 2x minus 15 over 2x squared minus 11x plus 5. It's a rational expression because we have two polynomials that are being divided. So I have to factor and simplify. I need to factor each of these two polynomials. Okay, so this is where I'm going to solve the problem. I'm going to factor this first. I'm going to do it over here. Factor. So x squared minus 2x minus 15. Now, this is a quadratic expression, and it's written in standard form. First, we have the quadratic term, then the linear term that only has the x, and then just the constant. So when we have this, a trinomial in standard form, with the leading coefficient being a 1, we could put a 1 there. It's not necessary. We look for numbers whose product, when you multiply them, you get negative 15. And when you add them, you get negative 2. Now, because it's negative 15, the product, one of the numbers has to be positive and the other number has to be negative. And we're going to factor it by putting two parentheses, each of them a binomial, and that starts with just x. Okay, so what two numbers? Their product is negative 15, and its sum is negative 2. Okay, so because one is positive and one is negative, the two numbers whose product is negative 15 must be 5, and actually negative 5 and positive 3. So this is this same expression that is factored. So I'm going to put it over here. That is x minus 5 times x plus 3. Okay, now we're going to factor the second expression. Again, it's a quadratic. 2x squared minus 11x plus 5. But if we first notice that there is no common factor. So because this leading coefficient is not 1, I cannot go directly into the two parentheses. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the 2 from here and the 5, the constant term, and I'm going to multiply them. And that happens to be positive 10. So I really need to look for two numbers, the same way I did here, whose product is 10, positive, and whose sum is negative 11. Now, because the product is positive, that means the two numbers are either both positive or both negative. Now, their sum is negative 11, so the two numbers must be both negative. Now, what numbers give multiplied 10 and added 11? It must be 1 and 10. But because we said they must be negative, so negative 1 and negative 10. So in this case, because the 2 is not a 1, we don't go directly into the parentheses. We rewrite this expression as 2x squared. Now, instead of the 11x, I use the negative 1 and the negative 10. Minus 1x minus 10x, and then plus 5. It's an equivalent expression. Okay, so I'm going to group them now. I'm going to group these four terms into 2 and 2. 2 and 2. What do these two have in common? Well, they just have the x in common. So I'll take the x as a common factor, and that's 2x squared divided by x is 2x, minus 1x divided by x, it's minus 1. I'll copy this sign, which is a minus. What do these two have in common? 10x and negative 10x and 5. Well, 10 is a multiple of 5, so 5 they have in common. It's actually a negative 5. So negative 10x divided by negative 5 happens to be 2x. And positive 5 divided by negative 5 is positive 1. So I notice that these two things, this one and this one that are being subtracted, in common, they have a common factor 2x. Ooh, did I say negative 1 or positive 1? Positive 5 divided by negative 5 is negative 1. Yeah, that should be a negative. So These two, they have the same factor. So I'm going to take it out in common. So that is 2x minus 1. And 2x minus 1 multiplies x and multiplies negative 5. So this is the factored form of this expression. So I'm going to put it over here. That is 2x minus 1 times x minus 5. So to simplify, we have a division here, and they both have a common factor x minus 5, so we cancel it. And the other two factors, they don't have anything in common, not a factor anyways, so we're pretty much done. And the answer is x plus 3 over 2x minus 1. And that's it. Thank you.